edition of the Ebit Media show. On the last edition, we discussed about heartbreak, healing, and learning to love again. Today's edition is something interesting, and we have the delectable John Best on the show. We would like him to introduce himself.
All right, John Best Uche is my name. They call me the social voice, and that's exactly who I am. All right, John Best Uche is actually a media practitioner. Then he specializes in voiceover. He does presentation, a corporate event host. He's a PR person, and on the other side, he is a development practitioner, development communications enthusiast. Yeah, so let's leave it at that.
Wow, such an amazing portfolio. This is the more reason why you should subscribe to our channel, because every edition of the show has us bringing very important guests, and we hope you're going to learn so much from John Best. In a world where the lines between right and wrong has been bridged, how do we get the bridge and stay on the bridge? So we're exploring building healthy relationships, and John Best has a whole lot to talk about it. I believe there's a whole lot, John Best.
If you say a whole lot, I don't know what that means, but then of course we're here to discuss, and we're in for it.
Yeah, that the beauty of the Ebit Media show is that every question springs up an interesting answer, and it usually never ends. So we just have to cut the video every time, because our conversations are interesting, our conversations bring up questions in your heart. So in the course of the show, if you would have any question that you would like private answers to, the comment section is there. Click on it, drop a comment, and we will do well to reach out to you. Now, for our first question, healthy relationships. So, in your opinion, first let's look at a relationship. What would you call a relationship? What fits into the definition of a relationship? How do you say this is a relationship? So how do you define a relationship basically?
Okay. In simple terms, relationship, I would say, is the connectedness of two people in this case. Okay. All right. The way which people are connected. All right. So that is just it in a simple terms, the state of being connected. So when you are in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship with, well, there are different kinds of relationships. I'm thinking we're talking about the social kind of relationship here. Yeah. We have romantic relationship, we have family relationship, we have workplace relationship, we have social relationship. Which that social relationship is what we're going to be talking about here, I guess. And of course, that has to that cuts across virtually every aspect of our lives actually. All right, so that's it.
Okay. So he has said building relationships, or a relationship, is interconnectedness. I like the word interconnectedness. So there's no relationship if you are not connected. Now let's get down to the main course for tonight. What makes for a healthy relationship?
What makes for a healthy relationship?
Relationships are made up of a whole lot of things. So a lot of things happen in a relationship. So what makes for a healthy relationship?
Okay, so what makes for a healthy relationship is simple here. A healthy relationship would be when the people involved, the parties involved, are healthy themselves. Okay, they are healthy in their reasoning. They are healthy in their behaviors. They are healthy in their thoughts. They are healthy in their value. Their value system is healthy. Yeah. So it starts with the parties involved. Each party involved here. Okay, let's take for instance, I'm in a relationship, or we have, we're saying, I'm in a relationship with Jacob or whoever. Let me call a female name here. I'm in a relationship with Cynthia. my relationship will be considered healthy or will be healthy if my value system, aligns with that of Cynthia. And if that of Cynthia aligns with mine, and not just aligning, they are such that we respect ourselves, we respect each other's value system, we respect ourselves in the relationship. Okay. Something would, your behavior, your attitude would determine if we would have a healthy relationship.
So it boils down to personality before interconnectedness.
Now it is your personality. Yeah, it's you. You're not coming to me, but you're coming to you. We are coming. You cannot remember. You can't give what you don't have.
What you don't have, yeah.
So if you are healthy in your way of reasoning by saying you are not the type that finds fault. For instance, you're not the type that finds fault in everything. You would notice that you would know for yourself that when I do not reach out to you, for instance, then you should reach out.
Yeah.
By the time you reach out, you sent a message to me. Oh, I didn't reach out to this person, and then the person just reached out to me. I think the next time I'm owing her.
Obliged.
I'm obliged to what? To more like reciprocate. That love, that connection, or that approach is just used.
Okay.
Just used.
So from what you've said, I can deduce that healthy relationships are a product of healthy people. Now, if we're looking at building healthy relationships by interconnecting healthy people, what happens to those who are not, in quotes, fit, healthy enough? So does it mean that a healthy relationship cannot exist between one person who is mentally stable or has everything together and someone who is trying to get things together? Do you have to have all your personal life in place before having a healthy relationship with somebody? Can there be no compromise somewhere?
I think you're trying to put me on the spot here, and you're trying to make me say something that somebody somewhere will just someone will just okay, so right, yeah. If I must be frank and very sincere with you, I would not advise anybody to go into a relationship with somebody that is not stable, that is not healthy. Okay. So, if you want a healthy relationship, if I want a healthy relationship, I should look for, to develop that or initiate that with somebody who is already healthy, who is healthy. Of course, we're not talking about medical in the medical terms here, right? Mental health. No, So I can't go into a relationship with somebody who is a fault finder. Okay. I can't go into a relationship with somebody who is whose values, like I've been mentioning, whose values do not align with mine. I do not smoke. I do not party. I do not club. So imagine I want to have a healthy relationship, and the person that is around me or that is coming to me for, let's go. John Best, I love your personality and I love how you do things. I love I love everything about you. I really want us to be friends. Oh, really? You want us to be friends? But are you sure I would love to be a friend with you? Like, I don't think I would be okay, being a friend with you. Okay. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because there's a possibility that you influence me. Okay. The Bible has made it very clear. Evil communication is corrupt good manners. Alright? I could say, I want to go, let's go into it, and then I will change the person. But come on, man. We're not talking about a baby of a year to 3 years. We're talking about an adult. a young adult if the person is not fully grown to be an adult, but a young adult, for instance. So it will take me time to do that. And the time that I will use to what, if at all I would want to do that, that time that I would want to use to correct or influence the person, that would have been a very valuable time, that I would have used for other things that I So imagine me going into a relationship, being a friend to people who club, to somebody who clubs. Well, if you say clubbing is no big deal for you, it's okay, all right. I'm not telling you not to go and do whatever you want to do, but that's me. That's me telling you I don't do that. So I can't and then say somebody who smokes and then you smoke. But how for the smokers are liable to die? I hope you know that. But you see they do. Then you want me to come around and let's be friends. So by the time you're taking these, cigarettes you take now, I'll inhale it. The next time, you're taking one hard drug or so, taking another thing that is not so healthy, and I'm still inhaling it. And we know about partial. There's something called passive smokers. Yeah, and that is even more dangerous than. There's never going to that. So I can't do that. All right. So I would definitely go for somebody who has same value system with me. Somebody who is. I told you I'm a development practitioner. I value. I do a lot of things around personal development, and then youth do advocacies and all of that. And even some of the things I'm mentioning, talking about drugs and all of that, or smoking, these are things that I even advocate against. And so just imagine me going into a relationship with somebody who does all of this that I'm actually advocating against. So it sounds somehow. So I would not advise anyone to go into a relationship with somebody that by him or herself is not healthy, that is not in good condition himself. Well, that's just
okay. Thank you so much. That was insightful. I still have another question. Now, what are the characteristics that you can see in a relationship to classify it as healthy? Because relationships are in three cadres. There are bad relationships, there are neutral relationships. Nobody is influencing any other person. Okay. You're just vibing. It's just for the vibes. Mm-hmm. And then there are healthy relationships. So what do you notice in a relationship? You see two or more people as friends. You see two people who say they are in a relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, family relationship. What are the things you can notice? What are the characteristics that you can pick out and classify this as healthy or unhealthy? Because a lot of our audience might be practicing some of these things and they do not know this is unhealthy for a relationship. So what are those things?
Okay, so first let's look at what you should look at for in a person, and then you could consider that person to be a healthy person and is worthy of having or initiating a relationship with. One, respect. I mentioned that earlier. That one, the person has to be to respect. There has to be respect.
Okay, respect.
Right, between the parties. If in a relationship you notice that one party, is not respecting the other party, you can consider that relationship not to be very healthy. All right, so there has to be respect. All right, both sides actually, and then you notice again when a relationship would be unhealthy when there is this friendship. We're talking about friends in need and not friends in deed.
Okay,
you get a point.
Seasonal friends.
Yeah, there are some people who are just there in a relationship just to collect from you. All right, those are friends in need. When you really need them, when you really also need them, they're not going to be there for you. But when they need you, well, they'll come around. They have nothing to add to you, but they are there to come ask for urgent 2K, to come ask for that hospital bill. Their family member is in the hospital and then they need you to support him, support them. They are having a school need and they want you to come to their aid. Meanwhile, they are adding nothing, and you keep doing that. I'm not against you doing all of that, but when you notice that is continuous, that is happening on a regular, consistently, and this person seems not to bring anything to the table.
Okay.
I'm not talking about money. It may not be money here. It may not even be material. The person has nothing to offer. Ideas are not coming from him or her. Advice, not coming from him or her. Whatever. No, he's not even. He's just. So when you notice that, you know that, come on, yeah, you just have to find your way. Find a way to cut off that. The person is just there to. There'll be a time you get to. By the time you start doing it, you do this today, do it tomorrow, do it this year, next year, and it could. It may lead to it. There may be a time that you may not have that again to give, and you notice that this person would be the first to castigate you. He's a friend. I call him my friend, and I just asked for something, but he could not give to me. He's not a bad man. He's not a bad guy. Just because I could not do it, or I did not want to do it. I've been doing it in the past, but I felt it's not necessary. I do it this time. So the person is tagging me a bad person. You get? That's a bad friend. That relationship is not a good one. Relationship is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be parasitic, that. Yeah. It's not supposed to be parasitic. We have to be, it has to be mutually beneficial. Beneficial to both parties. It has to be mutually beneficial to both parties. As that is, I need you. I come to you, you offer me that, you come to my rescue. You need me, I come to you. You come to me, I also come to your rescue. That's fine. But when it has to be that only one person is benefiting from that, it's not cool that way. Okay, so another thing is when there is suspicion. When there is suspicion, I have learned I don't like to suspect people. Because I believe that if you're suspecting people, it's most likely that thing you're suspecting people for, you are more like that kind of a person. So so when you see people, somebody, you're in a relationship and the person is suspecting you and feeling like you're not, safe or something, it's like, because the person will definitely be hiding certain things from you because he or she is suspecting you already. So not be very free with you. Suspicion is a sign that the relationship is not healthy.
I like the point you raised about suspicion, because we live in a world where secrets abound. Like it's even more like an advice these days that hide some things from people. So do you think that secrets can be kept in a healthy relationship? And if yes, what are the kind of secrets you should keep from someone you are in a relationship with?
It is secrets. There are things I don't need to tell you.
Okay.
There are things that you don't need to know about me.
Okay.
But there are not things that your knowing or not knowing would make any difference.
Okay.
Whether I tell you or not, it shouldn't be a big deal. Our relationship, we are friends. We are colleagues, friends, however you want to put it. But I still have my privacy. I still have some level of privacy to myself. There are things that I think you may need. Meanwhile, there are still levels to these things too, okay? There are levels to these things. Friendship has, grades. Relationship has grades. Yeah. There is a level you will be with somebody and you can openly tell him or her certain things. Okay, and there are level, there'll be a level, a phase of in that relationship or friendship that you'll be, and you can literally say nothing to that person. It just ends. Oh, we're friends. Yeah, just maybe open conversations. Okay, and that ends there. So there are people who will never tell you things about their personal life, even though you're good friends, so to say, until they notice something special about you. I have a lot of people around that help me, and that leads me to confidentiality. So if you're friends or you're in a relationship with somebody, there's a place for confidentiality. You must keep certain things confidential. If I tell you something now as a friend, and the next time I hear about that, we get to meet, I've already heard that thing in the mouth of maybe 5-10 people. But I couldn't remember, I cannot remember telling any other person aside you. Of course, that definitely clears the fact that you are the one that had spread the news. You're now a newscaster. Interesting. That alone will tell me that, come on, I can't tell you everything. There are certain things I shouldn't tell you. So confidentiality. So if you haven't seen that, if you lack, if in a relationship, confidentiality sucks, that relationship can even be unhealthy to me. I'll consider that unhealthy too. So keeping secret. So say it as, anything I tell you is what I want you to know about me. Whatever it is that I've told you, just take it as that is what you deserve to hear and no suspicion about me. Don't suspect me. Try as much as you can to let me open up as much as I can to tell you things. But don't take it as, if I don't tell you anything, just assume. There are some people who say, oh, we don't assume, should assume, right? Yeah. But then just take it like that and say, oh, I think that's what it is. That's all that he's got inside of him and wants to give out. I don't think he has any, it's not a big deal. So just take it like that. Just take it like that. I'm going to cite an instance. So I have friends. I'm this kind of person that I observe a lot. So if we are close, to some extent, if I look at you, if we've met once, twice, 3 times, and more, I can, and closely, I can tell when you are not very good, not in a very good mood, to some extent, and then I can try as much as I can to tell you, to enter you, to tell me certain things that ordinarily you would not tell any other person. And you would be like, just best. How did you know? I would have known, like, oh my gosh, I don't intend telling this to anybody. But just for you, and yes, just tell me. I will not force you, but I'm going to show empathy. Yeah. I'm going to give you a reason why you should tell me this thing, especially when it has to do with, your emotions and some sort of you're having bad mood or something. It's affecting you. And I noticed that I would find a way to make you tell me this thing. I don't have the money to give to you if it's a money thing. I don't have the money to give, but there is always a way I can come in. There's always a way, I could say 1 or 2 things that would help you out of that situation. That is just me. So the problem some of us have is when we cannot keep, we don't know how to keep things confidential. Sure. We are, I hear it from, for instance, I just told you that a lot of people can tell me certain things, and it remains with me. It remains with me, and that I've given them, benefit of doubt, or it has given them benefit of doubt that, they can tell me anything, and they know for sure that it's not going any other place. Nobody's going to hear about it. Okay.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Confidentiality, secrets. So it all boils down to your personal development again, because telling yourself that I'm not going to suspect this person, it has to do with a level of maturity, a level of emotional intelligence, and all that. Then keeping secrets. So I would go back to what you said, that healthy relationships are a product of healthy people. Now, we're looking at building healthy relationships. So the first thing we can get is that you must first develop yourself. So what other ways? How do you move a relationship? Because I'm looking at taking my relationship from where it is now to something healthier than it is. So what are the tips I could impute to make it healthier? How do I build a healthy relationship?
Okay, it's more like you have said, develop yourself. You have to understand that in all of these things, we need the ingredients of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence matters a whole lot in a relationship because you're dealing with humans. And if you don't know how to manage people's emotions, if you don't know if you cannot understand people's emotions and then how to manage them, then you'll not make that relationship will not just go well. You cannot excel in that relationship, succeed in that relationship, and all of that. So you need to develop your emotional intelligence. Okay, you need to develop that. And now also another tip, like I've mentioned, you should learn the art of confidentiality. Learn that for yourself. Another thing is work on yourself. Work on yourself. I said it before that you cannot give what you do not have. You're a product of however anybody treats you. You get the point.
So people treat you the way
you treat yourself, the way you portray yourself, the way you have, it's your person. Right now, you can't come to me and tell me this is who you are, but the way you behave does not really tell exactly the way what you've told me or who you've told me you are. It's the same thing in a relationship. So if you want a healthy relationship, make yourself, develop yourself to be a healthy person. Now work on your personal values. The tips again is go for people who value what you value. Go for people of same value system. Now, if I want to go into a relationship with somebody, friendship with somebody, I would observe the person. Who is this person? What do I stand to gain from this relationship? What do I stand to gain from this relationship? And what do I have to offer in the relationship? Yeah. You are not weighing what you stand to gain alone, but you're also considering what you have to offer in that relationship. So you consider all of that. What do I have to offer? Am I just going into this relationship? Am I just, in this relationship because I want to get without giving? All of those things matter. So your value system, watch your value system. What are your core values? What do you call valuable? Is it the same thing? Is it the same thing the other person calls, valuable? If you're not able to pinpoint all of these things, then you just go into a relationship and then you discover that either you are losing and losing and losing. Either what you've got before, you get sucked of what you've got before, or you get into it and then you remain stuck, maybe stagnant at that level. But it's not supposed to be so, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be that, okay, we're in this thing together. So a healthy relationship must make you grow. Yes, now it should add to you. It should add to you. Yeah. You're not there to remain stagnant. You're not going into it to remain stagnant. You're there to support yourselves.
Yeah. So it should be symbiotic. Very, very symbiotic. That's wonderful. So audience, if you're looking to build a healthy relationship, it starts with you. That's the most important thing from tonight's show. Healthy relationships begin with healthy people. If you're not healthy mentally, if you do not have emotional intelligence, you are unstable mentally, you do not have anything to offer, then the chances are that you are going to enter into a relationship and it's going to be something unhealthy. Now, the last question for tonight's session. When does a relationship begin to cross the line of healthiness to being toxic? So let's switch to toxic relationships. So when does a relationship begin to switch from being healthy to becoming toxic, and when do you see your sign to leave?
Okay, interesting. It becomes toxic when it is parasitic.
Okay.
Parasitic in the sense that, in the sense that you are the one losing in that relationship.
So what if the person is the one losing?
If the person is the one losing, it's still toxic.
So you have to live by your own self.
I would do what you want. Human nature will not allow that to be. But that is just it. If it's okay. But most of the times, it's considered toxic too. When the party is how do I put it now? When the party, number one, when there's some sort of bullying, it could be cyber, it could be physical. Most of the times that's how it is. Alright? It could be physical, it could be cyber, it could be verbal.
So someone who imposes themselves on you.
It could be verbal. Now, verbal toxicity is a product of abuse. You get, that is when in a relationship you're seeing, I think that is even common. That's common in maybe you want to go into romantic relationships and all of that. But then in a social relationship, it could not be where a younger person is, when the older one is more like bullying the younger person. That is, in a way, if there's one that is seemingly stronger than the other, some sort, that could bring about toxicity. But then it's not just about the physical, thing. It's not about the physical thing. It has to do with also, it goes beyond that. It could be, or like I said, oral, verbal, cyber, bullying, and all of those things. You see somebody just go online and you start pouring all sort of things, saying all sort of negative things about his partner, her partner. I mean, somebody who is in a relationship, who he or she is in a relationship with. That is, I consider that toxic. Of course, if we are friends, if we're in good terms, I shouldn't come out to tell, say all sort of things, so negative about anybody, about you. And at that time, when you notice that, of course, you should find you. And there's always a sweetener. All right, there's always a sweetener that will make the person remain. Maybe sometimes they'll tell you, he or she will tell you, after fighting, for instance, after they've had quarrels, they've had issues, they've, talked down themselves, the other person, and then you see the one that has been, talking down on the other one, come later to offer the other person something juicy that will make the person forget about the abuse, and all of those things. That's the sweetener there. And then the person will feel, I think he just made it. It was just human nature. He just acted up that he will not continue, not do it again, she will not do it again. And then he continued. And that time it happens again. That the sweetener is there to make you remember. That is when the abuser, or the toxic one actually, is benefiting. I don't know if the person is benefiting something.
Yeah.
Of course, the person is benefiting from that to happen. Maybe that authority he or she has over that is the benefit he or she is getting. This self-esteem. That kind of feels that by being being a bully or being a toxic person, over this war, I am, right there. So by the time, he does that, he comes to sweeten it, the relationship again, and then the other one who is being bullied and being, treated or maltreated, decides to stay back. Let's continue, nothing evil. That's how it is, and it continues until it will lead to something very not too good.
So from tonight's show, we have said that healthy people build healthy relationships, and toxic people build toxic relationships. So it all starts with you. We hope to discuss about building a personal life, a personal healthy life, to be able to get into healthy relationships in the next edition. So stay with us, because this is not just about relationships, this is about you. As long as you are good, then you can get into something good. But once you are toxic, or once the person you're about to get into a relationship with is toxic, then the relationship is bound to be toxic. Now, John Best, do you have any final words on healthy relationships to the audience?
Okay, so my last words here would basically be that be who you are, okay? Portray yourself in such a way that you want people, how you want people to see you. Then that person that relationship, that treatment you want to get from the person that you're in a relationship with, also give that treatment to the person. Whatever it is you want to gain from that person, give it, and then definitely it will return, to come back to you. So you are a product of the things you give, whatever you've got inside of you in a relationship, actually. So don't expect a sweet relationship when you are a bitter person. Don't expect a healthy relationship when you know for sure that you're not healthy. Okay, you're not healthy. And healthiness in this case, we are talking about your personal value system, your core values, your all the things that make you, or that should make you a better person. All right, so work on yourself, and then before you think of working on the other person.
Okay, this has been a wonderful edition with John Best, and we hope you got a whole lot. Use the comment section to tell us 2 things you have learned about building healthy relationships, and John Best will be there to reply to your comment. See you next time on the Ebit Media Show.